Hello, welcome back to another video. What's up, Doc? I would like to share today my fascination with Queen Elizabeth and the Platinum Jubilee. I have made a slide video that I just uploaded on Instagram. And it's not because she is the Queen. You need to understand that all through my childhood, being from Jordan and the whole thing about monarchy, we were fascinated by the monarch's life and how they, succeed to the throne, and we learn it through history, through school, and the background of all the battles and conquered, and it's just part of our culture and part of our history. And if you don't like history, then to me, that means you don't like humanity, because history is the story of humanity. And whether it's, victorious history or a history that reflects, good times or golden ages, or history that has unfortunate events, because that's what life is, it's still history. It's still the stories of humans and humanity, and that's why I like to tell the stories in my videos. But if you think about it, as a female in 1952, she became a queen by default. So if we look back in history, her father, George VI, he became king by default. And the reason why I'm mentioning that, because I know exactly how this feels. Because if you have seen or watched the video how I became a partner in Hudson in 2000, I think 4 or 3, I became a partner by default. I was never meant to be a partner within 18 months after having the full-time associateship. It just because that senior partner that I was supposed to take over unfortunately passed away in a car accident, and I had to accelerate or speed up my process of becoming a partner, because the junior partner that took over everything after the senior partner passed away, he needed a partner and he needed somebody to help him to run the business, because he always had a partner and he did not know any other way to run his business but with another partner. But anyway, so I was approached, instead of being a process of 5 years process, to get myself acclimated and learn the business and run it in 5 years, I had to become within a partner within 18 months. So I can relate to that. Obviously, it's a different scale. It's not on a global scale. It's not on an international scale. I don't have to deal with MI5 or MI6 or prime ministers, but it's still the same concept. I would like to feel that way or think that way. But yeah, no, with all seriousness, I can't even imagine. When I took that role over, I told him that I have no experience running a business. I'm going to try to learn as much as I can. So at age 25, with 2 children, she gets the news that her dad passed away, and now she is becoming queen by default. Now, George the Sixth, her father, became king by default because George V abdicated the throne, and he was not married. He did not have any heirs. So his brother, according to all monarchy system, most of monarchy system, his brother took over, who's George VI, and as a result, George VI did not have any male heirs. It was Elizabeth or Margaret. But of course, Elizabeth takes over at age 25 in 1952, and she stays on the throne for 70 years. I know some people, they're gonna trash this video and say that, well, she did not have to do anything, and she had all the the advisors, all the politicians, all the teachers. But little details or small details that you read about her, just as a female monarch, that beat Victoria's reign, that beat Elizabeth I's reign, that beat even Catherine the Great reign, which is Catherine the Great is my favorite monarch in all history, other than Hatshepsut, which is like the pharaoh queen. But what she did to Russia, like the Russian court, they were illiterate. They did not know how to read or write, and she introduced literacy because she was German. I guess there were a lot more advanced in the German court than the Russian court. Same thing with Elizabeth II. When she took on the throne, she could not read and write, and she approached her father or mother before she took on the throne, and she wants to learn how to read and write, because I guess monarchs in their court, they don't need to read because it's read to them, and they don't need to write because it's written for them, and they all have to do is dictate. But she took upon herself, and she made sure she wants to read and write. She wants to read her own letter from the red box that she gets every day, except for Sundays, I think, and to all the requests and the letters that come from the public. She wanted to read it herself in private, and then also do the correspondence in person, which is, that alone modernize the monarch attitudes about life. I don't know at that point if she knew exactly what kind of monarch she's going to be, but she definitely had a better idea than to break the tradition. Even when she married Prince Philip, her mom, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mother, she was against that marriage, because she kept saying, oh, Philip is not a monarch. Well, she's not royal either. But Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth insisted on the marriage because she fell in love with him at age 13, and I think he was 15, and then rekindled the whole relationship when she was a teenager, and that's when they got married. She got married really young. So again, I can go on and on. I believe it or not, I've read so much about her, because if she's the third longest reign monarch in all history, and the top two are males, I think it's Louis XIV is number one, and she is off by 70 years and 110 days instead of 72 years and 116 days. So the first one is Louis XIV, and then the second one is Maharaja out of India that reigned the second longest, and then the third longest is Elizabeth II, which is number 3 in the world. And again, the top 2 were male kings. So that's huge achievement. Regardless of her role, regardless of her duty, regardless of her title, her performance around the world and the respect that she earned around the world, and she grew so well in her position. And I know, even with all the family drama, political crisis, worldwide conflict, everybody sees her as just a symbol of, or a beacon of, stability and luxury and royalty. But if you read more about her and her personal life as a human, as a female, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a monarch, it is very stressful, but also at the same time, I can't even imagine the responsibility, but just, again, the achievement to maintain that position. And she never put a foot wrong. All her life, she had to put out fires by other people around her and close members of her family, doing the craziest stuff, the most embarrassing stuff she had to deal with. And she had to speak for the royal family, and she had to speak for the public and deal with that, with the whole persona of, you're just a monarch, you're protected, you're not, part of the people. It's for a lot of people, it's not reality. And a lot of people wants to shrink the monarchy or the royal family, reduce it as minimum as possible. And then, and a lot of them are calling for the England Republic, not Republican, but England Republic, meaning that no monarchy. But it's not the first time. She dealt with that all the time. Her own daughter got kidnapped, Prince Anne. So I don't know. It's fascinating. I think with all the women in history that I can think of, it's quite an achievement. And I did celebrate her, and I wish her the best. And it's just one of those things that I really, or one of those history figures that I admire and I read a lot about, because I always wondered, how did she even transition from being, World War II child to like a mid-century to being, from princess to being a queen, and dealing with 70 years of just conflict, or good or bad, right and wrong. And she maintained her position very, very well. But anyways, I wish her the best and happy um, um, platinum jubilee to her. And again, just like any senior member or senior figure of history, I wish her the best. So that's my story. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.